The old me is through, boo. Still hard to get used to. Oh, the new things I should do. Can't move how I used to. The old me is through, boo. Still hard to get used to. Oh, the new things I should do. You got to get up off me. Got to cut me loose. God ain't in it. I'm not in the mood. I ain't with it. I got things to do. Can't put up with it. That's my attitude, new attitude. I switch gears, I'm brand new, can't play games. Pay me to turn back to my old ways. Give 2 cents what they say, cause I can change. But I can't lie, some days do get real tempting. Can't let my foot slip, I hit the brakes before I drift away from where the truth is. Before I found a rock, I never really had the blueprint. The spirit lives in me so I can navigate through this. Can't move how I used to. The old me is through, boo. Still hard to get used to. Oh, the new things I should do. Can't move how I used to. The old me is through, boo. Still hard to get used to. Oh, the new things I should do. You got to get up off me. Got to cut me loose. God ain't in it. I'm not in the mood. I ain't with it. I got things to do. Can't put up with it. That's my attitude, new attitude. Oh, I'm not headed that way. I'm turning to day. No, I'm not headed that way. I'm changing my way. No, I'm not headed that way. I'm turning to days. No, I'm not headed that way. I'm changing my way.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Sho Ray, aka the Big Sho. And remember, I do it B-I-G, not bigger than G-O-D, just big enough to show what he can do through me. I'm gonna say it one more time. I said I do it B-I-G, not bigger than G-O-D, just big enough to show what he can do through me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Why are you throwing that thing in a big old circle? Well, simply because you showed up today, and I think that's big. Say it with me. Big God, Big Sho. Big God, Big Sho. One more time. Big God, Big Sho. You guys, this is episode 4. This episode, you know, a lot of the things, obviously, I'm talking about it because I'm being about it and I'm living it. But when God seems late, this is very personal. So before we get into it, why don't we lift up a sound? It's showtime.
I will love you anyway, even if you cannot stay. I think you are the one for me. Here is where you are to me. I just want to say, despite though you're not mine, I can't deny. Don't you hear me talking, baby? Love me now, or I go crazy. Oh, my sweet thing. Oh, you know you're my everything. Oh, my sweet thing. Oh, you know you're my everything. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, you are my heat. You are my fire. You make me weak with strong desire to love you down my whole life long. It's being right or being wrong. I'm only what you make. funny, but oh, sweet thing.
I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that sweet little rendition. All puns intended. All puns intended. That sweet little rendition. And also, oh my God, please forgive me. I hope that selection was just as sweet as the yams that you had this past. Did you celebrate? Did you get to the yams? Sweet yams. Did you? I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed your family. I hope you had the turkey, the ham, all the things. Now, listen, that was last week, and today is Monday. And so I hope and I pray that the food is not here to stay. How do you guys feel about leftovers anyway? I don't know. I did so quite personally, I have been a pescatarian, vegan-ish person, eater, I don't know, since I was 17 years old. So that was about 17 years ago. And so for that reason, Thanksgiving doesn't ooh and ah me too much. I usually do some kind of fish dish or some kind of vegan side dish if I feel like making it. But I was lucky enough this Thanksgiving that my cousin made us some, what do we have? Some scallop curry. And then we had some vegan mac and cheese. So that was good. What didn't I have? Some stuffing. So I intended to make my own vegan stuffing with some sort of vegetable broth. And then what I'd like to do, I'd like my food to touch. I like to mix the stuffing or the dressing. Is it interchangeable? Anyway, I like to mix the two of those with my cranberry sauce, but I would have had to had gone to a Whole Foods or something to get one that's gelatin free, because for some reason they put that gelatin in everything. But anyway, that was Shaka Khan's sweet thing. I did have yams with vegan marshmallows. So sweet. I'm looking forward to the holiday season in general. It's a great time just to be with family, honestly. And if stuffing your face is what you want to do, so be it. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into the big talk, you guys. This week's big truth is stemming from John 11. John chapter 11, verse 21. And so it reads, Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died. So quick backstory. This is a story of Lazarus. Many of you may know or may not know. So basically, Jesus allowed one of his dear friends to pass. He was dead for 4 days. And a lot of people were challenged by that because they didn't know, if you have the power to raise from the dead, why let him die and let him be dead for 4 days? It sounded like a lot of belief was challenged. A lot of doubt was challenged. It sounded like Martha was faced with the decision to believe whether or not God could still do it. So her posture during that was disappointed, but still believing. So when I looked that up and I read further in the scripture, and she even, went as far as to make the statement or blame Jesus rather, Lord, if you had been here, he would not have died. I immediately resonated with that in a couple of different areas of my life. And so what I admired, though, where I found similarities, was that she wasn't afraid to admit where she was personally or emotionally, but she still chose to believe. So moral of the story is just she was honest. And I think that God appreciates her honesty because she still ran to Jesus. She still trusted his identity. And she knew that God would give, what she asked, and she knew that he could still work miracles. So they waited while he was dead with faith and mixed emotion, and Jesus still honored it. So when Jesus heard about his friend passing, he didn't immediately move. He left after 2 days and went to see about him. When he got there, he had already been dead for 4. And so he doesn't decide to actually move until Lazarus is dead. And that's how I got to the topic of when God seems late, because it just makes you wonder how many things in our lives are dead situations, right? That we deem unable to be resurrected, but God is really just testing our posture. He wants to know if we doubt him, if we trust him, no matter what it looks like. So sometimes God waits until the situation looks dead, so his glory is undeniable. Delay is not denial. That's another point I made last week. It's development. And so, can I give an example? Can I give an example, an honest, true example of where I'm at? You guys, so back in March, I was working at a particular job. And then I went on a stress leave, and I officially resigned from that job in July, all while in transition to moving into a new apartment, picking up a new car note. And in the midst of that, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm trusting you. I knew about the apartment, mind you, around March, around the same time, the beginning of the year. And I was kind of trusting God along the way, saying, hey, okay, I'll just, find another position. I'll do what I need to do. So fast forward, you guys, I get in here. That was July. We're in December now. I've applied to jobs since then. Jobs have dropped in my lap, and for some reason, they just never went through. I've had to trust God to make a way out of no way since March, really. And every time I thought that something was going to come out of the situation, or I was going to be saved, or I was going to get this job paying this amount of money, or I was going to go back to doing things as I normally would. That has yet to be the case, you guys. And so that's one of the things that birthed even this talk show, that's birthed even picking up my personal training business back up full time. So God has a way of just revealing even the things that he wants to do through us and testing our character. So again, what feels like the end is often just a setup for a resurrection and faith. So I've had to have a lot of faith, specifically this year, because God has answered a lot of prayers, but I haven't seen how I'm going to be capable of carrying them just yet. And so what seems to be a dead situation, in spite of all the things that are going on, God is still working on me, in me, through me. I'm here today. We're having the big talk. And so I hope, if anything, I am a testament to things that look dead. They're just not. And if God didn't move earlier, it means that your testimony just needs more weight. So that's what I'm trusting now. Just in my life in general, there are things that I'm waiting on, doors that I'm waiting to open. So Lord, you're blessing me with answered prayers, and my prayers that you make me just into the person that can carry, all these things that you're blessing me with. And it's just funny how he'll open the door and you won't see exactly how you're going to walk through them, or how you're going to stay in the room rather. But he has a way of testing your faith. So again, delay is not denial. Sometimes God waits until the situation looks dead, so his glory is undeniable. And my prayer is that next Monday, even the Monday following, before the month of December is out, you guys, I will have a crazy testimony. And I know I'm giving you bits and pieces. I'm sorry if things are confusing or spotty, but I promise it'll all make sense. Like I am not dead. I am not dead. So that leads me to the engagement question. What is something in your life that feels late but might actually be on time? What is something in your life that feels late but might actually be on time? Again, you don't have to answer it now. Just ponder on it. Ponder on it. What they say, chew on that. Chew on that this week. And realize that all things are always working for our good. Things don't always go the way that we want them to go. But the test is keeping your heart posture, keeping your attitude in check, like just making sure that no matter what happens, God can do the impossible, and things are always working in your favor as long as you trust and believe Him, and you're obedient, and you're seeking Him. You want to hear His voice. You want to stay in alignment. There's no way that it cannot work out for you, no matter what it looks like. So that's that on that. I won't ramble anymore. That's that on that. I want to get into the progress pointer for the week. And again, the progress pointer is always in conjunction with the engagement question. So the pointer, the small step that you need to take in order to make the big progress, is just to roll the stone away. Do the part God asked you to do. So before Jesus resurrected Lazarus, He asked them to remove the stone. And so take all the faith you got left and remove that stone, whether that stone be your fear, your excuses, your doubt, or even your procrastination, and just take one bold step of faith in that area. I'm going to give you an example of one bold step of faith that I had to take even today. So I just told you that I have yet to work another 9 to 5. I have yet to get something to sustain me, right? Because God has been my provider, my way maker, my way out of no way, my sustainer. All this time, you guys, I would say I don't know how I'm making it, but it is nothing but God. So quick tea. Today, I decided to step out on faith and actually launch a series for the month of December for my personal training business. And the series is called, let me put it on the screen. The series is called Holy Meets Healthy, or Holy and Healthy. So this is a series of free events that I'm launching for the month of December in order just to build community. And this only stemmed from an opportunity that I had to sit and kind of talk to God about that seemed big in the moment, but I realized wasn't completely aligned with what God needed me to do. And so that was my bold move of faith. I've been looking specifically for a space, a home for my business, for my clients, for my family, for my progress partners. And so when the opportunity that was just presented to me didn't seem to be aligned, I had to say, hey, how can I build culture? How can I build community even outside of a shared space? And so God led me to this. And so this is my bold move. This is me not making excuses. This is me saying, hey, God, I want to do things that align. So more shameless plugs. Progress Partner is the name of my business, CT Progress Partner LLC. It's a faith-based, purpose-driven fitness community. And I specialize in helping busy people find balance through simple nutrition and structured workouts. So this is just an extension of that. And I'm going to plug it in because this is all me, the Big Sho, Show Ray, CT, all the things. And so I'm just showing you guys that the proof is in the pudding. This is the one bold step of faith that I took on this week because I know that my dreams haven't died. What God has put on the inside of me hasn't died. And even though it seems like I don't have the stability that I need, and, I've been dead for 4 days, 4 years, whatever it is to you, keep being intentional and believing that God can still do the impossible. I don't care what it looked like last year. I don't care what it looked like the last time you tried to pick up your business. Just trust that God has you, you guys. And I'm gonna say it again. That's that on that. But that is all that I have for today. I hope that you share this live, that you share the Big Show happening every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube Live, because, it's a big God and a big show, and we need to show others how we show up for ourselves, because God ain't stopped showing up for us. Right. Anyway, please tune in next week. I got to get out of here. I got things to do. Can't move like I used to. See y'all later. Peace.